video today. I'm going to be talking about a major development that has happened in the state of Florida. As we all know, this is the state where Ron DeSantis has been the has been governor of since January of 2019, and I think it's something that people are going to have to start acknowledging, and some people kind of have, but I don't think it's been nationally accepted. Just among the political people, Florida has become a lean to likely Republican state. Just looking at these new polls coming out with 2022 now, 2022 is supposed to be a red wave year, but DeSantis up 6, DeSantis up 9, Rubin up 7. These are all likely margins. The likely margin is 5 to 15%. These are all beat that. And what I want to show you is when we look at previous maps, Republicans in Florida, in particular, have been completely underrepresented by the polls. Now, I don't know, what I'm not going to, think about what led to that, but just take a look back in 2020. This is the Florida polls, the Florida spread. Biden up 0.9%. Trump ends up winning by 3.5%. That is over 4 points off. That is terrible. That is very, very bad. So I'm not even sure how accurate these polls are in the sense that maybe DeSantis is even up more. But when we look back at even earlier, and now we're still a year out from 2022 governorship, but I mean, these Florida polls are just awful. Biden up 13 points by St. Pete polls. Here, take a look. This is St. Pete polls. Biden up 13 points. Actually, wait, no, that is not the correct one. That is Quinnipiac. Here, why don't we look at the St. Pete polls, the newest ones, because this is St. Pete polls, the one who just came out with the DeSantis prediction. We can take a look. All right, let's be as fair as we can, even though, you could kind of say, well, we're still pretty far out, so why don't we take a poll from St. Pete that was made longer ago, but we'll even use the one that they had closest to the election, assuming, everything that they were doing was fine. Biden up 1 point. This was done, 2 days before the election, so nothing would have changed. Trump, and that's off by over 4 points. So, they were off in 2020 by over 4 points. So when people say, even DeSantis is already up 9 points in one of their polls, I wouldn't even take that for granted for the Democrats. I would say it could be even worse. Back in 2016, it shows. I'm going to click. I just clicked on it, but it shows as you can see, it's Trump up 0.2%. That was the spread. The results, Trump plus 1.2. So worse off there. And essentially, the only things that were jumping it up were the Republican pollsters in 2016, Remington Research and Trafalgar. And the other ones all had Clinton up, and they were all wrong. And that was their fault. I'm not sure if St. Pete polls existed or was conducting polls at this time, but it doesn't make much of a difference. St. Pete polls was off by 4 points. That's their credibility. I probably can do a better job predicting them, or however polls are important, but I could probably have done a better job just predicting the margins for 2020. So let's take a look back at these new recent polls out of Florida. This is DeSantis up 9 points, St. Pete polls. Let's just take it into consideration. Assume that St. Pete is off by once more 4.3% or 4%, whatever you want to care. Just say 4% for the sake of things. Then that means that against Nikki Fried, DeSantis would actually win this election by 13%. That's pushing on safe margins. Against Christ, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. I should actually know that, but DeSantis would be up 10%, which is, in the middle of the likely margin. That is likely. And Rubio, plus 7, beat Val Demings by 11%. Another major gain for them. But here, let's just take a look at the Nikki Fried polls. DeSantis, and largely, a lot of this is due. It's actually a mix of things, but it's all, frankly, due to a few people, and that's DeSantis and Trump. DeSantis has been able to consolidate a significant amount of support in Florida. When you look at Florida and you compare it to the rest of the nation, even the Democrat Party in Florida has moderated significantly compared to the national politics. Simply because of the popularity of DeSantis, regardless of how you think he handled things. Clearly, the people in Florida support him. Florida, toss-up state, usually. However, Republicans have had a major, major advantage and done very, very well there past elections. DeSantis now up 9.5 in the spread for 2022. 9.5 spread. you can even assume that there's a polling margin error, and you can add 4 points to that. That puts him at 4. It's essentially a solid state, but I'll put it as likely for now because, you know, I mean, if it ends up being a solid state for Republicans, then that's incredibly scary for Democrats, because then DeSantis basically has a mandate to basically say his policies are successful for Republicans. He'll get the nomination probably if Trump doesn't run, and he has that incredible national appeal. If DeSantis can flip Florida 9 points, then just imagine what he can do on an electoral scale. And what you saw with this, what DeSantis did, was when you look at Miami-Dade County and significantly gaining support. I'm sorry if you can hear some background noise. Some people are talking. If he can, when you saw the Hispanic support, and that's also kind of due to Donald Trump's ground game, where he got a lot of Venezuelans and a lot of Cubans to come out and vote for the Republicans in 2020 for his campaign, which increased his support. And DeSantis actually had a good ground game for Trump in Florida as well, leading to that increase in support for the Republicans in DeSantis. And my most recent video that I talk about, and that's all due thanks to Trump and DeSantis for the Republicans, is due to the increase in party registration or affiliation in Florida. I'm not entirely sure if I have that up, but I'm going to do this. Just searched up right now for you guys. Here we go. Florida party affiliation. Now, I just made this video yesterday. It basically explains how the affiliation among political parties in Florida has really, really flipped, and Democrats used to be the majority political party by about 250,000 people. Now we fast forward to 2019, you're at about still at 200,000 vote majority party affiliation head. That's when DeSantis takes the helm. Trump's ground game begins in 2020. Hispanic support. Now, 2021, you fast forward. Republicans are now the majority of party affiliation in the state of Florida. It's reported from the governor's office, but that is the institution of the state, so where else are you going to get that from? And then you can also look at voter registration. But that's a different statistic, and I'm not even sure if they have that up. But anyway, I just wanted to go over this significant shift in the state of Florida, which has been considered a toss-up state, frankly, for over half a century. It has been a competitive state, to say the least. And I'm not sure if this is just a one-time thing, but if the Republicans continue to nominate people like this, you can assume that Florida I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm scrolling down here. You can assume that Florida will continue to go to the Republicans in future elections, regardless of how you view their politics. It clearly is a popular form of governance. So what I can say for the Democrats is they're going to need to, I would say, moderate in Florida, which is what they're doing, but they also are going to need, it's going to take some time, because I don't think that there's much that they can do to stop the momentum that the Republicans have there, and that very well could be carried across the country. What you see in Texas, what you've seen happen in Virginia. Virginia really could become the next Florida, depending. I mean, Republicans have control of the state house. They have control, the lieutenant governor, the governor. A lot of possibilities in Virginia for Republicans, and that could actually narrow up the state if those policies that Glenn Youngkin initiates end up being popular. Now, he did have the mandate of the Virginian people won that election, so you could see a narrowing up there. And you can see that happen across the country, depending on the 2022 governor elections. A lot of states could go red. A lot of states could flip back, especially Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan and Tony Evers in Wisconsin, whatnot. A lot of these states could flip back, and it could be as a result to what DeSantis happened. And this shift in Florida, I think you're going to see it on a national stage. You already are seeing it in Virginia. You're definitely going to see it in 2022, and you're going to see it in 2024. So with that, let me know what you think of this. Do you think that Florida is a likely state? I certainly do. And please let me know how you think this will affect the Republicans in the comments below, and the Democrats, frankly, and the national stage. And also make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are inching closer to 250, so keep that subscription up. And make sure to like the video and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.